And like that, week 2 is done. How do you feel? Quick recap, and then you can go rest, recover, enjoy yourself. Okay, so we're going to just go through a quick recap, talk about reflection, look at what we're doing next week, and then have you got any questions? So we've really dialed it up to 11 this week. You've added in weighted workouts. You've done 3 full body weighted workouts. You've also done interval cardio sessions. You've done plyometrics and core blitzes. So hopefully you feel that in your body. You might be aching a little bit, but you should feel the sense of accomplishment. We've also covered quite a lot in the learning, the day-to-day videos that I've been sending out. If you've watched them, great. If you haven't, hopefully you can go back and pick some of those up if you need. But we've covered how you build muscle. We've looked at range of motion and that mind-muscle connection that is so important. And we've also talked about the impact of cardiovascular and respiratory health on your performance. So it's not just about building muscle. It's not just about getting faster or increasing our lung and heart capacity. It's about functionally living better and longer. We are going to be future versions of ourselves that are stronger and better able to see all of the challenges that aging brings with it. You might feel a bit sore and achy. You really need to rest this weekend and make sure you're eating well as well. You've probably had to battle your ego over a few things, whether that's realizing that you might not have done some of the movements right, or you haven't been able to push yourself as hard as you might have thought that you could have done. Whatever it is, don't worry about it. This was a learning week. We're starting to move. We've moved from unconscious incompetence, where you don't know what you don't know. We've started to move into conscious incompetence, where suddenly you're very aware of all of the things that you don't know. Now we start to move into conscious competency, where you start to get better. This is going to take time. Don't rush it. Don't worry. You've made great progress. Hopefully you can look back and see that. So reflection is very important, especially at the end of the week. The weekly check-ins are there. If you want to use that document, fill it out, think about what you've done well, what you need to set yourself for next week to do better. Use it. It's a good tool. As I said earlier, remember to focus on what you've gained from the week. Don't look at how far you've got to go. Look back at how far you've come. That's really vital. You need to celebrate all of your successes. And please focus on recovery and nutrition. Make sure you're resting. Make sure you're fueling your body, whether that's carbs before a workout and protein and carbs after, or whether it's just getting 7 to 9 hours sleep a night. Do the things that will make your recovery quicker. So next week we split everything slightly differently. Instead of doing full body, we're splitting upper, so everything above the waist we work out on one day, then we move to lower, everything below the waist, and then we go back to upper. So you'll see some of the same exercises coming back in, but they will be more intense. So you will be working certain muscles a number of times rather than quickly going through the whole body. Okay, so again, rest becomes very important, but also make sure you're using the resources available. Watch the videos, whether it's the learning materials or whether it's the videos for the exercises. Read the instructions if you're not sure and ask questions. As I said, you're going to go back over exercises, so start to work on that mind-muscle connection. Start to really feel what you're doing as you're doing an exercise. Touch the muscle involved if you can. If not, just try and think about it, watch it, whatever it is, just try and create that link between the mind and the muscle. We're going to cover nutrition. So we're going to talk about how you fuel your body effectively. We'll look at macros and what we mean by macros and how important they are. And then we'll also talk about eating for fat loss and for gain. So how to put on muscle. So those things will all be covered next week. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you are too. If you have any questions, please just send me a message, or you can also post on the community. There will be people there who will be able to respond as well. So 10 days, that's all you've been doing this, but that's enough to lay some really strong foundations. Every step you take now produces a healthier version of yourself. So that future you is starting to really come into focus now, and you'll be able to see how these little things that you've been doing will impact that future version of yourself really positively. Have a wonderful weekend, recover, and I will see you next week.